Hello, 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 and welcome back to This Is Me Attitude Podcast with me, your host, Rachel Hills, just a 20-year-old something girl trying to figure this life out and sharing some stuff along the way. So let's get into it and have some fun today. So let's start off with today's title, How I Get Through Monday Blues, because if you're listening to this recording the day it comes out, it is Monday. I woke up with the Monday blues, did not want to get out of bed, did not want to go to work, all the things. And today I'm going to talk about how I get through those things the best that I know how to, in the 3 steps that work for me when I'm just really not feeling it. So first things first, before we go into those 3 steps, I should probably mention, if you haven't noticed already by listening to this podcast, that I am normally a pretty positive person. Like, it's easy for me to find the positive in pretty much any scenario. So when my attitude is not positive or down in the dumps per se, a lot of times I am able to switch it around just by different things that I've told myself in my head and experiences I've gone through before. But today I'm talking about when I'm really down deep and I just cannot pull myself out. Those are the 3 things that I do to try to pull myself out the best that I possibly can. So just kind of a proclaimer, or whatever that word is that I'm trying to say, before we jump into the 3 steps. So let's do this and hopefully it helps you. Oh my goodness, I meant to say disclaimer, because I know the English words. I can talk. Yeah, that's a thing. Okay, moving on. So for the 3 things, I will list them and then I'll go into more depth or description for the 3 things. So number 1 is, this sounds super simple, but I take 3 big deep breaths before I continue into feeling the negativity in my head of like the mean girl, or of having that negative mindset about work or about different things and just overall life. But the maybe different thing that not everybody realizes, what I do for the taking a deep breath, is I put myself in a spot that's completely 100% by myself. Even if I'm home with like my boyfriend, I make sure that I'm in a different room than he is to take the deep breaths, or in a different room than like whoever it is. Just an example there. So then number 2, jam out is what I labeled it. That is where I legit jam out to my music, jump around the house, jump around, move around in my car when I'm driving the best I can. I'm like screaming on the top of my lungs my favorite songs. Like, it gets me in a freaking fire happy mood most of the time. So depending on what the situation is or why I'm going through these steps in the first place, if I don't become happier or more positive feeling after jamming out, then anybody that has seen me or knows me knows that I am in a very upset mind in that moment. So number 3, again, I usually don't get to number 3 as often as what you might think or what other people might. But number 3 is, if I can, and if it's in the right time of day or right atmosphere or right place, I will legit take myself and go take a nap. Put myself to bed. I need to reset. I need to stop. Obviously something is not going correct, and I'm just keep feeling like a hamster going over and over and over and repeating the things that I don't want to. So I will either go and take a nap, or if it's later at night, I will just go to bed early and say, all right, obviously we need to reset, and just go about it the next day, or in an hour or in a half hour. For me and my body and how things work out, if it's past 4 o'clock in the afternoon, I know I cannot take a nap. Otherwise, I'm going to be up all freaking night. And then if it's earlier, then that's when my cutoff is, I guess you could say. Everyone's different. I know it's a super specific example, but in the fact that everyone's different also in these 3 steps, maybe you take the deep breaths, but you don't do the jam out thing, or maybe you jam out to all the songs and you don't go for a nap. So hopefully these 3 things helped you, and let me know, because I would be really curious to see how they work or if you've tried them. And yeah, let's see if you do. Thank you so much for listening to another episode of This Is Me Attitude. I cannot say it enough. I very much appreciate everyone that has or that will take a few minutes to listen to what I have to say, because it's just amazing. And I just want to remind everybody that I do have a free text list for positivity. What happens is that once a week or a few days throughout the week, I send out a text just for a positive note, and you get on the list and you automatically get those messages. So that number is 1-715-200-8800. Again, 1-715-200-8800. And just so I know that you listen to this specific podcast episode, text me the color blue, because I want to see how many resonate with this episode. And another way you can connect with me is over on Instagram. My handle is @RachelFunHills, and I would love for you to send this episode to your girlfriends or to any of your friends that resonate with this and you think would help them. So thank you again, and we'll catch you on the next episode.